Vigilante scum. Izuku and Hakuji and Kaguya were running away from the pro heroes. Then Izuku said, "Wait, you guys. I want to see what happens if the pro heroes catch up to us." And then Hakuji says, "Master, are you out of your mind?" Then Kaguya responded by saying, "This plan is quite stupid." It doesn't matter how stupid the plan is. It's not like y'all have a choice in the matter. And then plus, they capture us. What they finna do? Erase our quirks? Hakuji said, "You do have a point, Master. Fuck it. Let's do the plan," Kaguya responded. "That's the spirit," Izuku said. The vigilante trio stopped running. Flashback: when Izuku and his companions finally went back to society, Izuku had realized that pro heroes patrol crime throughout the day, even though most of the crime like rape, murder, and theft, drugs, and human trafficking happens at nighttime. 1 month after the UA entrance exam, Izuku proposed an idea to Hakuji and Kaguya, and to explain to them that the pro hero patrols the crime throughout the day, even though most of the crime like rape, murder, theft, drugs, and human trafficking happens at night. Izuku, Hakuji, and Kaguya had become a vigilante trio which drive fear into the hearts of villains and criminals. Izuku, Hakuji, and Kaguya had been called the demonic trio. End of the flashback. The pro heroes arrested the demonic trio and took them to the police station and did some interrogating, but then pulled off the mask of the demonic trio and realized these are children. They're the same age as the students in UA High. Izuku had thanked Kami the first time he got his abilities because he shapeshifted into someone with the long black hair and red eyes, so they didn't recognize him as Izuku Yagi. And the detectives didn't recognize Hakuji and Kaguya because they were both demons. The detectives saw the kanjis in Kaguya's and Hakuji's eyes. Kaguya having the kanji 6 in her eyes, while Hakuji had the kanji 3 in his eyes. The detective called the underground hero Eraser, asking him if he can put the demonic trio into rehab because they're the same age as the students at UA. Then Eraser responded by saying, "I will see what I can do." Hakuji said that I overheard them, and they said that we're going to rehab because of our quote-unquote young age. Then Izuku responded by saying, "I wonder how interesting this might be." As we see Aizawa and Nezu discussing something. Nezu, "Can I please put the demonic trio into rehab? I know they're vigilantes, but they're just teenagers." Aizawa, "I normally don't do this, but this is the one exception because I don't want kids' careers to be ruined before it even started." Aizawa says thanks Nezu as he leaves and goes to the police station. Aizawa goes to the interrogation room where the demonic trio was at and basically explains to them that they're going in rehab because of their young age, because their hero careers can't be finished before it even started. Aizawa wanted to change their ways of being a vigilante to being a hero. Personally, he didn't care about vigilantes. He even thought that they did better job than most pro heroes. He just didn't want to see children in jail and in prison. Disclaimer: each day when Izuku became the Demon King, his memories were coming back slowly every day, so it can make sense. The next day, okay, class looks like we're gonna have new students, Aizawa said. "Please walk in," said Aizawa. As the new students walked in, as it was Izuku, Hakuji, and Kaguya. Izuku looked at Izumi and the Bakugo twins with his glare alone, and he was putting Wait, he was glaring at them like it was saying that he was gonna put them in their place type glare. The Bakugo twins screamed out, "What are you looking at, extra?" Izumi tried to calm down her two friends, but it did nothing. Aizawa then used his quirk to erase the Bakugo twins' quirks and said, "Problem children, one more outburst from you and you will be permanently expelled and will be blacklisted from all other hero schools and non-hero schools. Don't think we forgot what you did." The other students in UA were confused. Izumi and the Bakugo twins were confused. Flashback: the Yagi family reported Izuku Yagi missing. They called the best detectives in Japan and high-ranking pro heroes. "Why did you call us here?" said Gran Torino. "This must be an emergency since you called the best detectives in all of Japan and all top 25 pro heroes." Then Toshinori said, "Our son Izuku, he's missing." Inko was crying on the floor and sobbing. Then Aizawa asked Toshinori, "What led to this conclusion?" Then Toshinori started explaining how Izuku was arguing with his mother about Izumi and the Bakugo twins bullying Izuku and beat him nearly to death every day. Aizawa then said, "Okay, now let's bring Izumi and the Bakugo twins." Inko then called Izumi and Mitsuki called Katsuki and Katsumi. 30 minutes later, Izumi and the Bakugo twins went to Izumi's house. When they opened the door to the house, they were all nervous. Izumi broke the silence by asking, "What's going on?" And Aizawa said, "Glad you asked. We're wondering if it's true if you guys are the cause of Izuku's disappearance, like maybe through the cause of bullying or etc." Izumi and the Bakugo twins were extremely nervous. Meanwhile, in Izumi's thoughts, could we have been found out? If that's the case, this will be quite troublesome because we're in front of the best of the best, all of the best pro heroes, and the teachers, and the detectives, and the principal of UA is here, so we can get blacklisted from every hero school in Japan, even the sidekick schools, which was actually saying something, because we would be treated like gods based on our quirks. Out of flashback, Aizawa then said, "Let's go inside of Izuku Yagi's room, because it seems more fitting for a situation like this." The rest of the adults agreed as they went to Izuku Yagi's room. Then Aizawa found a box in Izuku Yagi's room, but for some reason, Izumi and the Bakugo twins tensed up when they saw the box, and they felt like something bad was gonna happen. Almost like it was foresight. Aizawa then opened the box, and it contained a video recording. When Izumi and the Bakugo twins saw that, they were sweating. Their legs were visibly shaking. Aizawa then played the recording. Then Izuku was speaking. "Hello. If anyone there is listening to this recording, unfortunately I'm no longer in the world of the living." This statement alone tensed the room so much that the tension was so thick you can physically cut it with a knife. Then Izuku said, "To get all of my anger out and frustration, I will be exposing the evil deeds of my parents and Izumi and the Bakugo twins." Izumi and Bakugo twins' face went white. Aizawa and Mitsuri screamed out, "What does he mean by that?" Izumi and the Bakugos didn't say anything. All they can do was shake in fear. They were sweating so bad that the floor became wet. Then Aizawa got back in his calm composure, saying, "No matter, we will find the rest of the tapes." Aizawa then played the tape, And if my voice is cracky, that's because I didn't drink water. The tape began to play, and Izuku said, "My life has been a living hell ever since I got diagnosed as quirkless. I got neglected by my parents so bad that they forgot to feed me. So I had to make food by myself and get a part-time job at 10 or I would die because of starvation and lack of hydration." As I was getting pissed off more as he heard the things Izuku went through. And Izuku says, "That's not even the worst part. When Izumi and Katsuki and Katsumi found out I wanted to become a hero, they beat me close to death literally every single day. It got so bad that the doctor said I won't live a very long life because my body won't be able to sustain the damages done to me. So that's why I plan on leaving this family, because I know if I stay here, I'm going to either die physically or mentally by committing suicide. Yagis, if you ever hear this, don't try to stop me from leaving," Izuku said in a cold voice. That was the end of the tape. Toshinori and Ingo. "You're telling me you neglected your son for 10 years, Izumi Yagi, and problem children. You're telling me you beat a quirkless boy half to death claiming wanting to become a hero, even though heroes save everyone, including the quirkless." Then All Might said, "Yagi, I'm very disappointed in you." Then Izumi was about to say something. Then Gran Torino punched the living shit out of All Might in his stomach, injury turning him back into Small Might, which is Toshinori. Then Gran Torino said, "Izumi, I'm not defending you, but Toshinori, how dare you be so hypocritical, acting like you're innocent too in the matter." Then Aizawa says, "You're lucky we won't force you and Inko to retire because we still need the symbol of peace to protect Japan from all for one. This doesn't mean you're off the hook. We're taking most of your monthly paycheck. You'll be left off with 0.001. Yes, you will be left with 0.001% of your monthly paycheck, which is exactly $1 billion. But since your monthly paycheck will be down to 0.001, your monthly income will be $10,000, and all that $1 billion a month will go to UA." All Might had to face a pure depression, knowing that they have gone broke to compare to their monthly earnings in the past. And a flashback. "Alright class, we will be going to the USJ today," said Shoto Aizawa. All the students of class 1A went to the USJ bus, but they were able to afford the field trip because it was supplied by you-know-who, All Might's paycheck. All the students in class 1A went inside the bus, including Izuku, Kaguya, and Hakuji. They were sitting next to each other. Then Suyu asked Izuku, saying, "Muzan, what are your quirks? Because I heard of your vigilante group, the Demonic Trio, but I never heard of your quirks when you beat villains halfway to death. I never heard of your quirks. What methods did you use? Your techniques? All of that." Sometimes I will call Izuku as Muzan. That's a disclaimer. That's not a part of the story right now. Muzan said that you would have to find out at the USJ. Meanwhile, with Hakuji, he was annoyed that he had to go to a hero school, but he will deal with it for the sake of his master. Hakuji was annoyed because he was in class as he saw the Bakugo twins glare at Izuku. In Hakuji's thoughts, he said, "How dare you glare at my master, you pathetic piece of trash, you low-life human scum." Hakuji didn't hate all humans, but he hated these humans. The fact that a lower race is looking down on his master was mere blasphemy in his eyes. Meanwhile, with Kaguya, she noticed a midget with balls for hair. A midget with purple hair with balls for hair was staring at her and she said in her thoughts, "If he even thinks about groping me, I will torture him for the rest of his life. or make him a demon so I could torture him forever and ever. Demons that are not the Demon King can turn any living organism into a demon, because Tamayo was even able to turn her cat into a demon, and demons can turn humans into the demon, like the Demon King. But if it's just normal demons or regular demons that are not the Demon King, they can't curse other demons. Only the Demon King can do that. As Class 1A has arrived to the USJ, as when Uraraka met 13, because 13 appeared, she was basically fangirling over 13. As 13 explained what they're gonna do in the unseen simulation joint, that we're gonna be training with fake villains so you can train your quirks to be able to be like real heroes. As then a purple portal appeared, as Kirishima said, "Whoa, these are really good fake villains." Where as Aizawa sees them, and just by their aura alone, Izuku knows these villains aren't fake. Demons can sense aura. Well, the Demon King can. It's one of his abilities. Muzan didn't have this ability. This is a special ability Izuku has. Aura sensory. He can't manipulate auras. It's just aura sensory. He can sense when someone has good or bad intentions. As he sensed that these guys are actual villains, as Izuku and Aizawa in 13 says that these aren't fake villains, these are real villains. As Shigaraki said, "Nomu, kill all the kids here, then we'll wait for All Might to come. Because if I kill all of these brats, it will make All Might come. Because he will hear this on the news." As Shigaraki commanded the Nomu to attack, as Aizawa, as the Nomu was about to charge at the children, he was going out for blood, trying to kill them. Then Aizawa came up to the Nomu, tried to fight it, cancel his quirk. But the quirk canceling didn't do anything because the Nomu was already buff. He was already strong without a quirk. He doesn't need a quirk to beat Aizawa. As he was pummeling Aizawa to the ground. As then Izuku went, then Shigaraki stated that this Nomu was able to take out Prime All Might, which is not true because All Might in the OG My Hero verse canon said that if All Might in the canon verse of My Hero said that if he was in his prime, he would be able to take out the Nomu with 5 punches, even though he has shock absorption. But it took him 300 punches when he wasn't in his prime. So this is cap. But yeah, Shigaraki stated that this will be able to take out Prime All Might. And the students were scared. They're like, "Aizawa, what is he gonna do against a monster like that? That could go toe to toe with All Might?" Then Aizawa was getting pummeled to the ground, and Aizawa's injuries they looked unhealable. His lungs were kind of crushed, but it wasn't crushed where he wasn't breathing. It just hurt to breathe. Aizawa's nose was bleeding everywhere around his mouth. He was almost paralyzed as Aizawa went unconscious. Then Izuku said, "I will handle it here." As the students were saying, "No, Izuku, don't fight the Nomu." Then Izuku said, "If any of us should be fighting the Nomu, it should be me here. Because I have the most, me and my trio. Because I have the most experience out of everybody in this class. Me, Hakuji, and Koguya, since we used to be vigilantes. We got this." As Izuku went, as Hakuji and Koguya were given commands by Izuku to go fight the other villains while he takes out the Nomu. As Izuku goes toe to toe with this Nomu, as he boxes with it, as the Nomu was fighting him, it took Izuku completely 200 punches as he beat the Nomu, but the Nomu got back up and regenerated. So then Izuku was curious. What would happen if I were to hit it on its head? It just has basic regeneration. It's not a demon after all. So it can't regenerate its head off. It doesn't have the regeneration that will make you immortal. So Izuku punches it in the head with 5% of his strength, which made a whole shockwave as the glass almost broke. The glass, as the Nomu literally was bleeding just from the shockwave alone, as Izuku punched his head off. And 5 minutes later, the Nomu, he wasn't regenerating. So my theory was right. The Nomu would die if he got his head off, said Izuku. As Shigaraki said, damn you! As Kaguya and Hakuji, they were working as a team. So with teamwork, they defeated all the other villains except for Kurogiri and Shigaraki. As Shigaraki went to touch Izuku with his decayed hands. But let's just say it actually worked. As Hakuji and Kaguya were screaming out, "No, master!" as Shigaraki touched Izuku with his 5 fingers as Izuku's body was decaying. He said, "Is this how I'm gonna die?" No, if I die, that means Hakuji and Kaguya would die. I had so much plans with them in the future. And in a millennia time. No, I refused to die like this. As Izuku's body was getting disintegrated. Then, but Kaguya, before Shigaraki can disintegrate Izuku, she covered an illusion. Like, not before, like, right after Izuku got decayed, she used her blood to drop an illusion that Izuku didn't get decayed. Because she didn't want the whole class to be freaking out and stuff and create unnecessary panic. Then Hakuji asked Kaguya, "What are you doing? Why are you using your blood demon on?" She said that she didn't want to create unnecessary panic. Then Hakuji, a realization hit his mind. Hey Kaguya, why are we not dead? Our master has died, the Demon King. We got his cells, his memory cells, that if he dies, the rest of the demons that were created through his blood dies. Why are we not dead? Could it be that Muzan, they don't know Izuku's true name. Muzan isn't dead? And Kaguya was like, yeah, it's like he's not dead. But it's also like he's not on the face of the earth or the universe exactly. It's like he's outside of the universe, not here. Maybe even outside of the afterlife itself because he's not dead. As we see with the Izuku Yagi, or Muzan, as he was in a white void. Where am I? As Muzan said. Izuku. And when Izuku's body, when he was decayed, Muzan's consciousness left his body because his body was decayed. As he was like, damn it! He thought that the Demon King he once had was dead. Then he still saw that Hakuji and Kaguya was still alive. That means that he's not dead, because if he was dead, those demons would have perished too. He's like, maybe he's somewhere else. But Muzan, before he can do anything, his soul was grabbed by Hades. Hades grabbed his soul because he was bringing him to the underworld. It's time for you to come and pay for your sins. There is no redemption for you, Kibutsuji Muzan. Hades said. Hades, the Grim Reaper, the god of death, the god of the underworld, took him into hell. You are gonna meet all of your previous upper moons. So say hi to Kokoshibo when you meet him. Because that's where you'll be at for all of eternity, burning, suffering. As Muzan says, no, I need to get back in the demon. I need to get back in that Demon King's body, the Sunwalker's body. My plan, it's all ruined. I haven't conquered death. As Izuku was in this white void, as he saw this man, and Muzan or Izuku asked, who, and when I called Izuku Muzan, that's Izuku. Izuku asked, who are you? And this man said, I am the creator of this what if. I am the one who is writing this story right now, narrating it, speaking it right now. I inserted myself into this story. I'm the one who created everything. This whole story, all past, present, future, I'm omnipotent. I'm all powerful because this is my own story. And even in other stories, I'm all powerful. I'm actually truly omnipotent. I'm the strongest fictional character because I'm not really fiction for real. I just inserted myself into this story. Well, forget that I said anything was fiction, as I snapped my fingers and Izuku forgot about the everything being fiction part. As Izuku then said, why have you summoned me here? Then I said, oh, simple. It's because I will grant you true immortality and new powers. Because you already have blood demon art. But imagine if you had more power, more hacks. And she said, what do I have to do? Sell my soul? Do I have to do that for the power? All those powers and hacks? No. None of the sort. You don't have to do all that. I will just bestow it onto you for free. As Izuku grabs his hand. As I said, in order to make you truly immortal, I will banish you from death, from the realm of death. So even if your body, or even if your existence or your soul gets erased, except if the person is not me, you will come back into existence. But if I erase you or kill you, you won't come back. Because I will negate I can negate your immortality. Because you're truly immortal now. Because I banished you from death. But if someone else tries to kill you or erase you from existence, you will come back in existence. You will repair your own existence. As Izuku grabs his hand, then the guy / me says, now, since I've banished you from death, grab my hand again. I will grant you a new hack / ability. I will grant you the ability to manipulate matter on a universal type scale. But you have to master these abilities. You won't just have the ability to manipulate all matter in the universe. You have to train that. You have to train that ability. As Izuku says, with this power, I can become a god. Nothing in this universe will be able to stop me, maybe except for that guy that's giving me the power. But besides that, if anybody tries to oppose my rule, I can end them. Then I begin to tell Izuku the full potential with matter manipulation. You can kill any being of matter with zero difficulty. You can make their matter explode, disassemble. You can make their atoms disassemble and stuff and all that. This power won't work on me because I'm gonna negate your abilities and I'm immune and I'm not even a being of matter. I transcend matter. I created matter, space and time and all of existence. The multiverse, the omniverse, the hyperversal constructs, outerversal constructs, high outerversal constructs, etc. I created all of that. Because this is a multiverse of what ifs. I snap my fingers again and I erase Izuku's memories of the what if part. Multiverse of what ifs. But yeah. As Izuku grabs my hand, as now I will send you back to the earth. Now, as Izuku wakes up, but it was dark, as in the real world, his his head was coming back into existence as it was reappearing as his body. Then his body reappeared. Then his arms, then his legs reappeared. As he then said, as Hakuji and Kaguya said, Master, as in excitement. As they said, I knew you weren't dead. I knew you couldn't be dead. You couldn't just die like that. And because if you were truly dead, we would have ceased to exist. Then Izuku says, yes, I'm not dead because I am the Demon King. He lies and he's not going to tell him about my existence. Izuku then lies and says, this is just one of the special abilities of the Demon King. Unlike normal demons like y'all not even normal demons, y'all upper moons. Y'all like the strongest demons besides me, the Demon King of course. But I have a special ability, a special immortality where even if you disintegrate my body absolutely, I will still return back into existence. I transcend death itself. And Shigaraki heard all of this and he was like, what? Then Izuku says, oh, now because you heard all of this, I can't let you live. As Izuku did a whole almighty pull on him. It's not almighty push where he pushes him. As he pulls Shigaraki to his arm. As Izuku used his matter manipulation to disassemble his atoms as he explodes. But no one saw this because of Kaguya's illusion. As Kaguya's illusion showed that Izuku beat the living shit out of Shigaraki, like he beat his ass. And it just showed that Shigaraki retreated through the portal. As Kirigiri was screaming. He was like, what did you do to my master? And Izuku says, then Izuku walks up to Kirigiri and injects him with his blood and says, you will now be a demon. You are now a demon now. You will now work under me. You're like Nakame. Just a new version and an upper sun. I'll give you her same blood demon art. Manipulation over the infinite castle, but on a stronger scale. Yeah, that's the ability. That's the blood demon art I want to give you. As Izuku injects him with his blood. As he commands Kirigiri to make a portal to his house, to Izuku's house, and he will stay there. Cause Izuku had a house in the cabin, like in the woods and shit. He had a house in there. So yeah, and that will be the end of this what if. That will be the end of this part of the what if. I hope y'all like, subscribe, and stuff. So yeah, in the next part, All Might will be busting through, but that will be on the next part. So bye.